Here are my top 5 mistakes that I've made as a real estate agent this year when it comes to dealing with clients. They say one of the fastest ways to learn is through experience, but the fastest way to learn is through the experience or mistakes of others. I want you guys to pay close attention to these mistakes because the point is for you to learn from these mistakes and take my lessons and apply them to your life and your business to save you time, headaches, and money. Hey everybody, my name is Lillian Chukwueze, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to the family. I drop multiple videos every single week about real estate, entrepreneurship, and investing. So if any of those topics interest you, definitely hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss when I drop the next video. So let's get right into it. Mistake number 1. I did not get a buyer's agency agreement with all of my buyer clients. Never make this mistake. And I say this because I didn't personally get a mistake with my first couple of buyers clients because I was new to the industry and I heard that it wasn't really a big deal whether to get them to sign the agency agreement or not. From my experience and the lessons that I've learned, it makes more sense to get them to sign the buyer agency agreement than to not have them sign the buyer agency agreement. Obviously, they still have the choice whether to work with you or not, but at least they have a contractual commitment to you and also a mental commitment to work with you throughout this process. Because the last thing you want to do is show these clients a whole bunch of houses and then to find out that they actually want to work with somebody else, or they find the house that they like and they let somebody else get the commission for it. And they can do that if you don't have a signed buyer's agency agreement with them. So we all know when it comes to being a real estate agent, the only way that we get paid is upon closing. So if no deal's closed, then we do not get paid. So the point of signing a buyer's agency agreement is to make sure you're giving yourself the highest probability of actually doing business with this client. As a real estate agent, you are totally committed to your client, and if you are totally committed to them, you want to make sure they are committed to you with an agency agreement. I don't think it's too much to ask for, and personally, I've lost clients over this because they've refused to sign a buyer agency agreement, and I'm totally fine with that because I don't think it's necessarily fair for me to put in all this time and effort and money into finding you houses, and you don't want to even commit to me to make sure that I'm properly compensated. The buyers that you want to work with are the ones who actually want to see you win, as well as themselves, obviously. But I've dealt with buyers where they know they want me to get paid because of all the hard work that I've put into it. So they have no problem. So they want to make sure I'm getting paid. So even before all that, they're totally okay with signing the agreement because they trust me and they know I'm gonna put in the work to actually help them find their ideal house. Now, obviously, every person that you have signed an agreement with you won't always close, and that's fine. But again, it's about giving yourself the highest chance to actually make some money when you do actually help them find the house that they're looking for. Because honestly, it can be a fairly long process from the point that you actually meet with this buyer, get them pre-approved, get them pre-qualified, help them find a house, put in an offer, negotiate that offer, and get to closing. And you want to make sure with all your time that you are being properly compensated. And this agreement is not just for you, but it also helps the clients understand all the services that you're actually going to provide for them, so they're not confused. Mistake number 2. I did not ask the proper pre-qualifying questions, or sometimes I did, but I skipped over a few as well. So you want to make sure you ask the right pre-qualifying questions. I'm only going to go over 6 questions, but if you guys want me to make a full video about the pre-qualification questions, then leave a comment down below and I will make a full video about it. But for right now, I'm going to give you guys the top 6 questions that you should definitely be asking any buyer clients that you come across. First, you want to ask them if they're working with another agent, because that'll help you identify if they're actually committed or looking towards working with you, or they're just going to take the information that you give them and run off with another agent, which is always a possibility, right? If they're already working with another agent, first you want to ask if they're under contract with the agent, and if they are, then you want to point them back in the direction of that agent. Or if they're not, you want to ask them why they aren't working with that agent if they're already in communication with them, because you may find out that they just want to get some information from you and go back to that agent. Essentially, that would just be wasting your time, and you don't want to waste your time as a real estate agent because, again, we only get paid when we close a deal. So we're already putting in a ton of time into a deal before we get paid. So we got to make sure that we're using our time as effectively as possible. And of course, if they're not working with an agent, then that's definitely a great step in the direction of working with you. Next, you want to ask them if they need to sell their current home before they move to the next home. That's important for 2 reasons. One, if they are looking to sell their current house before they move, that's an opportunity for you to be the listing agent on that side and the buyer's agent when you help them find another house. And the second reason you want to know if they need to sell their house before they move is because you'll have to make your offers that you put in on the new houses contingent upon the sale of the current house that they live in. Otherwise, things can get very messy if you're putting in offers without letting the listing agents know that your offer is contingent upon the sale of the current house, because otherwise it'll just get messy. Next, you'll need to ask them, how soon do you need to move? move. This is important because this will actually test the motivation of the client. The sooner that they need to move, the more motivated they will be to actually pull the trigger and make an offer on a house. If they don't need to move anytime soon and there's really no major motivation to get things moving, then you'll understand that they'll probably have to nurture that lead a little bit more before they're actually ready to pull the trigger and make some offers. Then you want to ask, have you met with a lender yet? And the reason for this is because you'll know whether they have a pre-approval or not. And if they don't have a pre-approval, then you obviously recommend them to a lender. And if they do have a pre-approval, then that's great. They can start the house buying process sooner than later. And that's great for you and the buyer because you guys can start to move as fast as possible. And if they give you any answers that kind of make you feel as though they're not ready anytime soon, then you kind of want to talk to them a little bit more and figure out what's kind of holding them up, and just have a conversation with them to really understand what's going on in their lives. Do you have a budget for your purchase price and or your monthly payments in mind? Because people usually have a budget for the purchase price that they're looking for, and that should be based upon the pre-approval. So if you haven't gotten the pre-approved, definitely do that first, because at that point their idea for a purchase price doesn't really matter. It really depends on what they can actually afford. Other than that, when it comes to monthly payments, you should definitely ask them if they have a monthly payment that they're looking to stick around, because that'll also be the determining factor when they do get the pre-approval and they see, again, what they can actually afford when it comes to purchase price and when it comes to total monthly payments. Because you don't want to focus on getting somebody a home that is totally out of their range of monthly payments that they're looking to stay within. Mistake number 3, I did not set the proper expectations up front with my first few clients because I didn't really have any expectations. And that's a very, very big problem. You need to set up front what your expectations are with your clients. You need to let them know that they need to tell you exactly what they're looking for in a house, because the more dialed in you can get their criteria, the better the houses that you'll be able to show based on their criteria. If they don't know exactly what they're looking for, that'll make things a lot harder. But this is why you want to ask certain questions to get a gauge of what they actually are looking for. And that way you can set up your searches, you can do your research and find the houses that fit their exact criteria. And that'll give you the highest chance when you do start to show these houses to actually make offers and close on a deal. So be upfront with your expectations. Let them know they need to be open about their criteria and get really specific as they possibly can. You also need to let them know how many houses you're actually willing to show them. If you have a bar set as far as how many houses, then you need to let them know. Honestly, a lot of clients like to view a lot of different houses and they don't really know because they're just really shopping, and that doesn't help anybody. Now, at this point in time, I don't necessarily limit the houses that I show them, but I do let them know, hey, 5 to 8 houses is typically the sweet spot that I'm able to help clients find their ideal home, and that's what we're gonna aim for. Anything after 10, we're gonna have to revisit the criteria and dial it in a little bit more so we can figure out exactly what you're looking for, because the last thing we wanna do is waste time, energy, and gas going to view houses that you're not necessarily interested in. And just be upfront with them. And if they get upset with you letting them know that, then it might just not be the time for them to purchase a house right now. Now, one thing that you wanna know when it comes to showing houses is that you really don't show any more than 3, 4 max a day. Because what'll happen is clients will start to see multiple houses. By the time they get to the 3rd or 4th house, they actually forgot what the first one looks like. They're thinking, was there a bathroom on the 1st floor or the 2nd floor? And they're forgetting about little details. So I would say 3 is a really good number. 4 is really max to show in a day, because you want to make sure that your clients are actually focused on the houses that they're seeing and they know exactly what they're getting into. Otherwise, they're going to forget what the previous houses look like, and that is just wasting time for both the agent and the buyer. Another expectation that you want to give them is to let them know you need at least 24 hours in advance before you schedule a showing. Some of these buyers will hit you up 2-3 hours in advance to ask you to show them a house. Meanwhile, you already have your whole day planned out and you have other clients to serve. And sometimes you need to relay that message and let them know, hey, I have other people that I'm showing houses to today, or I'm doing other things. I need you to give me 24 hours in advance so I can pencil you in, so I can adjust my schedule to show houses to you. Because otherwise they're gonna run you rampant. And how do I know? Because I've been there, obviously. That's why I'm telling you guys, don't make these mistakes, because it's gonna save you time, money, and headaches. There's been times where buyers will hit me up literally an hour before and they'll be like, hey, can I see this house? And I'll jump up and I'll be like, yeah, sure, I'll show it to you. Next thing you know, that throws my whole schedule off. I was supposed to do this, I didn't get it done. I was supposed to do that, and didn't get it done. All because of this one buyer, and I have other buyers that I need to service and other clients. So you don't wanna be stuck in that position. You wanna make sure you get everything scheduled in advance, and you have to be strict about that expectation. And you also have to set the expectation of letting them know that you don't pick up or take calls after a certain period of time. Like for me, I didn't set any expectation with a couple of my buyers, and they would text me all times of the night expecting a response, and I had to let them know, hey, like, I will get back to you, but if you text me at 11 o'clock, I may not respond. If you text me at 10, I probably won't respond. You gotta let them know these are the hours that I operate within. If you contact me at this time and I don't get back to you, I will get back to you the next day at my earliest convenience. Otherwise, again, these clients will drive you crazy. So don't make that mistake. Also, you gotta be selective when you're picking the clients that you wanna work with. As real estate agents, we have the option to actually choose who we wanna work with. So we don't have to accept everything and everybody, honestly. And you don't want to. You're not meant to work with everybody. And with that, you have to be okay with letting clients go. I literally just lost 2 clients, but I actually gained in this situation because they were just headache clients. One client in particular just did not want to sign the buyer's agency agreements, and she was already previously working with an agent. She really didn't give me a reason as to why she doesn't want to work with the previous agent anymore, so it makes me believe that she's still kind of working with that agent unofficially. But obviously her refusal to sign the buyer's agency agreement with me basically made us had a fallout because she didn't want to commit to the process of working with me, which is totally fine. I'm not here to beg any clients to work with me. I will attract who's meant for me. And whoever wants to see me win as well as see them win, they'll be willing to sign the buyer's agency contract, and they just have to trust that you're gonna be able to help them along the journey. But some people get greedy and they want every single agent in town to help them out, and that's not necessarily fair to agents. So she didn't want to continue to work with me because she didn't want to sign the buyer's agency agreement. It was totally fine, and we can go our separate ways, and I wish her the best of luck. The second client that I just lost, but helped me gain a peace of mind and clarity, is someone who had very, very unrealistic expectations of the market. She's been living in her house for 30 years, and she has to sell that house and move into another house and wants a certain type of quality for the house, for the price range that she's in, and it's just not realistic. And because of her lack of understanding of the market, I actually took time to hop on a Zoom call with her and go over what the houses are looking like in this budget so she has an idea before we start viewing some properties. At this point, I showed her one property that she was really interested in seeing, and we did not have a buyer's agency agreement in place just yet. I figured I'd just show her this one property and then get her under contract, and she was not satisfied with the house, and I had to let her know, hey, this is what the standard is for this price range. We might be able to find something better, and I'm willing to continue to look for you, but just understand this is the standard of what you're gonna get in this price range. And she felt disrespected. She felt as if I was giving up on her, and unfortunately her mindset was very, very rigid, and she wasn't willing to work with me. So at that point, I knew it was gonna be a very, very difficult transaction if we even got to that part. But luckily, a week later of her not responding to my phone call, she called me and she let me know that she does not want to move any further with me. And I was so happy and relieved of this, because again, not everybody is for you, and you won't work with everybody, nor do you want to work with everybody. This was a buyer who I wasn't really excited to work with, so I was actually happy that we decided to go our separate ways, and I'm totally fine with that. I gave her well wishes and she was cool with that too. If you guys are receiving value from this content and you really like it, please go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. If you're an agent who's looking to learn how to leverage YouTube to build your business, to attract more clients and close deals without cold calling, then be sure to grab my book. The link to the book is down below in the description. It's all about showing you how to leverage YouTube to grow your business, which I think YouTube is the best way to grow your business because you don't have to prospect at all. So go ahead and check out that book if you're interested. So mistake number 4 is you want to stick to your schedule. Do not deviate off of your schedule. I know sometimes it's easy to do that because there's so many things that happen within our days as real estate agent. I mean, there's certain things that are just more urgent than others. So sometimes you will get off track, but you want to stay on track as much as possible when it comes to your schedule. So if you have a schedule for showing houses, let's say from 4 to 8 p.m., stick to that schedule. If you have a schedule for showing houses from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., stick to that schedule if that's what fits your schedule best. Otherwise, if you start deviating your schedule and you show houses at a different point in time, or whatever the case is, you know, if you start taking calls at a certain time, you will start to drive yourself crazy. Your schedule will be all over the place. You won't even have a schedule in reality, and you'll just be working like a crazy person. And that is something you really want to avoid, because as a real estate agent, we have to stay very structured in what we do. Everybody respects the 9 to 5 schedule, right? There's certain things you do throughout the day within your 9 to 5 schedule, and that stays the same every time. You want to apply that same structure to your schedule as an agent. Not necessarily 9 to 5, but whatever the time frame that you need to do things, stick to that schedule. You want to time block, so certain periods of the day you want to make dedicated for certain parts of the business that you want to, you know, focus on. And this will really help you avoid overworking, which is something I really need to work on. So do as I say, not as I do in this case. The 5th mistake, and the mistake that I have lately been suffering from a lot, is not hiring soon enough, or at least partnering with somebody soon enough. Right now, my biggest struggle is that I have multiple buyers, clients from all the leads that I generate from YouTube and Instagram, and I don't know what to do with all of them. I can't show houses to 10 different people. I can only be in one place at one time. So my problem is I need to either hire a showing agent or partner with a local agent to help me show these houses. and pay them. But I haven't done that fast enough or in time, and right now I have to refer all of my leads out, so I'm able to get to a point where I can actually take on more leads and just have agents show these properties for me and still handle the other parts of the deal, such as the negotiations, the contracts, and everything like that. That is one thing that I'm personally struggling with, and I wish I would have hired out sooner. Another thing that I'm struggling with is posting my social media content consistently because I'm doing so much work on the agent side, but I am starting to get better with that, and I am actually hiring somebody next week, so that's action that I'm currently taking, and I am currently interviewing showing agents to help me get some of my time back. So don't make that mistake. If you do start to see that growth coming, definitely start to hire or have a plan to partner with certain people to get things done when that time of growth comes, because you don't want to be in a situation where you're not able to fully service the clients that you have in the current moment, and you have to sacrifice or either just refer out these people until you do get those parts of your business in place. So do what you got to do to hire, whether it's an admin assistant, whether it's a showing agent, you know, a virtual agent, whatever the case is, you need to make sure you're able to put these people in place to help you out, to help you grow. Or a social media manager, a video editor, whatever the case is, you don't want to be the bottleneck of your business, meaning that the business starts and stops with you, because that's not how you grow a real business. So hire help or leverage partners. So let's just recap really quick. Make sure to get a buyer's agency agreement signed before you take out any buyers, because you might be wasting your time showing them a whole bunch of houses that they're either not prepared to buy or not able to buy. Next, you want to ask the right pre-qualifying questions so you know exactly what your buyer is looking for. Then you want to set the proper expectations for your clients so they know exactly the services that they're going to receive. Of course, you want to stay strict to your schedule so you're not running around crazy with like a chicken with your head cut off. And you want to hire out help as soon as possible, or simply leverage your network of other real estate agents to help you do things such as show houses, put up your agent signs, put on lock boxes on houses, and things of that nature. And if there's any real estate agents who are out there who are interested in joining my team here at eXp Realty, please go ahead and check out the links down below. You can join my team right from there, or you can schedule a 15-minute consultation call with me so I can answer any questions you might have about eXp and joining my team. My team is filled with agents who are bringing in business strictly from social media and YouTube, and if that's something you want to learn, definitely go ahead and check out the links below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and of course hit the notification bell so you don't miss when I drop the next video. Add me on Instagram and TikTok, and until later guys, I will see you on the next one. Stay safe and stay blessed.